Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance and for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to show you guys this whole box of Mechwarrior stuff I got at an auction, and this is what I'm going to be listing today, so I'm going to go ahead and show you some of them up close. Alright guys, I'm just going to open these up and start showing you guys. I don't even fully know what I got, but these are by WizKids back in the day. So they would have these Mechwarrior WizKid packs next to the Mage Knight. Usually you get one of these big mechs. There's going to be a bunch of little stats on their dial right here. That's how people play the game. I think this is for like ammunition or maybe like repairs or something. I think that's ammunition. I never really played the game as a kid. I didn't have enough money to like play Mage Knight, also buy this stuff. So yeah. Right over here is going to be the clan faction symbol, and there's also going to be like a collector's number. So I don't fully know how all the rarities and work in this game. I do know I've sold this stuff before, but I've never gotten like a bunch of these big mechs, so I'm super excited for it. We're just going to go through this together. So take a look at this one. So yeah, let me see on the base right here if I can see anything about the rarities. There's like a little arrows. Maybe that's like common, uncommon, rare, possibly. This is how many, 95 is probably how many points you spend to wield the figure on the map. Usually you'll play like a certain number of points. It's going to be player versus player. I think you pick one of these faction clans. So I've gotten a lot of like bits and pieces from this particular game before, but I've never gotten this many. I think I'm going to do really well. So what I'm going to do is look these up individually to see if they're worth like, I don't know, like $5 or more. And then the other thing I'll probably do after that is to lot them up by their faction. Like I said, there's like little symbols on the side down here. I don't have them memorized. This one has like a little snake right there. So yeah, I'm going to have to like look up all the little stat lists and stuff. Maybe some kind of wiki page. So yeah, it'll be fun to like dig into this stuff kind of more. I'm going to bring out more of these big mechs. There are other things besides the mechs. Like I said, I haven't gotten many of the mechs before, or if I do, they'll be broken, and then I'll do like lots. And they did pretty well. I sold most of my lots, broken or not, so people will repair them, or they want the figures. You can even use these probably in like Battletech. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like maybe you can. People can probably, even if they want, pop these off the bases. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but you can use it for like RPGs. So this is like one bag, so let's go on to the next bag. All right, here's the second bag I got in the box. There's also like color coding and little like icons on here that also I think denote like what clan they're from. So that will be important in identifying them. Also, it's like kind of cool if I put all like these white mechs together if they end up being like a bulk lot. But I'll probably do the clan, but I'll think about doing different types of lots for people. Oh, this one looks really cool. It's called a Blackhawk. Yeah, that one's big. Like I said, I think you get one of these mechs in one of the bigger booster packs, and then you get a bunch of other stuff that I'm about to show after this bag. These are really big ones. I don't remember them being like this big, like almost my hand size right there. So yeah, that one's massive. I'm really excited to go into this. This is Megahan Treachery right here, whatever this one is, all these rocket launchers. Yeah, people like this kind of stuff. But I was so excited to get this auction. No one bid against me. The minimum bid was, well, this one's huge. I'm not a mech person. Like, I'm not like a mech fan, Gundam, stuff like that, Transformers. I was just like, I don't know, I just wasn't into it. I was into more like fantasy, so Lord of the Rings, Mage Knight, Pokemon. But this is the only mech product as a kid that I ever bought. These are not mine. These were from an auction, but I did buy a couple of packs. I think they were like $15 or maybe $20, and this was back like early 2000s, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty expensive. Even now, I would consider that kind of expensive. So yeah, that was that second bag. So let's move on to the next. All right, the next bag, they also had like these tanks. They took up like 2 slots right here. Same deal, they have a clan faction, the collector number, all their stats such as like movement, the range, I believe is over here. This one has like 3 bullets. I don't know if you can see, so it can do hit probably 3 different targets. This one's a missile carrier right there. So yeah, they had little tanks as well. So yeah, I always thought these were like pretty neat. I don't know if these took the slot of a mech in the booster pack, or maybe this was on the side. The packs were, I think they were like these like square, rectangular, like brick looking things. So yeah, these all look like they're from the same faction. I think I can tell by the little color coding right here. So yeah, people like the vehicles. I usually, like I said, I'll get these in like broken bits or pieces or missing some pieces, and people still like sent offers, and I sold a bunch of them when I got them one time. I've been always aware of this game But I think because the packs were more expensive and they were alongside other games like Dungeons and Dragons and Mage Knight and Magic the Gathering back in the day, I think just less people got these packs. I don't think this lasted as long as a Mage Knight. So yeah, that was just that one baggie of these little vehicles. We're going to go ahead on to the next one. All right, this baggie looks like what I normally get. These are going to be broken bits or pieces, so I'm going to go ahead. These are infantry, so the little soldiers, so I don't, here, let me put, yeah, I'm going to have to put these together. They were in a baggie probably by the previous owner on purpose, so those are like the little infantry. They're going to be neat to re-glued on this base, so usually there's like 3 of them right here. But same thing, they have a little clan symbol right there for what faction they are, collector number, that image is the set symbol, all of their movement and attack, like this little infantry is only 14 points, so that's how you round out like your army in Mechwarrior by WizKids. Yeah, you just like, obviously you're going to have like, if you spend like 84 points on something, you're going to have like 16 points left over, and these will do like important little actions. They might like do a little bit of damage if they can get like 1 or 2 hits in, if they can absorb some shots, that would be good. I'm going to keep those in the baggie. I'm going to go ahead and pull out more of these broken bits or pieces. These were just like in the baggie as such. So this is what I'm used to dealing with. I still do pretty well with the broken bits and pieces. This one doesn't look fully broken, but maybe it's missing something. So I have to like look these up. I see like, yeah, this one right here is missing an arm. Not a big deal. It might be in this baggie. It might just need a simple like fix. Here's like one of the tank guns, I think, from one of the vehicles. Oh yeah, that guy had another little gun that just fell right there. This guy's off his base, but it looks like his leg is right here, so someone will be able to fix that. This is the stuff that I have gotten messages of like, oh, this is junk and people don't like it, but they do. They do grab this stuff. You can also like modify your other like Mechwarrior stuff. Maybe you have like a broken figure and you just want to add on another arm, so at least it has 2 arms and stuff. So yeah, these are all in this baggie. We're gonna move on to the next one. All right, this baggie right here is going to be a bunch of the infantry that I just previously talked about. So yeah, little clan faction right over here, set symbol, stats. Yeah, they're really tiny, but they have like different names. These are Cavalier battle armor, so some are gonna have like flamethrowers, standard front little figure right here. Like I said, these are important, but probably not as expensive as the actual mechs. I know people probably still play this game. Like I said, this is the only mech game that's ever intrigued me. I like tactical games, so I like it where one person does all their moves kind of like on a chessboard, and then the other person does their moves. It gives me time to think. I'm not as fast on my feet with fluid thinking for like board games and stuff. I don't like the super action-packed ones. I just enjoy sitting there in my thoughts thinking about, oh, if this character attacks that one, if it misses, what do I do? It's almost like a constantly problem solving, and that's why I think people enjoy these tactical games. Other people are going to enjoy just the realm of the Mechwarrior. There's going to be lore with this. It looks like all of these are maybe the same faction. There's like a little wolfie on here, so I want to say it's like clan wolf or steel wolves. I know there's going to be different kind of wolf actions on this particular Mechwarrior game, and I know like there's a bunch of different booster packs and expansions for this. So yeah, here's a ton of these. I've never gotten this many before. I'm actually like I said, this was in the brown box you saw at the beginning of the video. I just bid on it. You are allowed to look at the stuff beforehand, but generally when I see a big lot of something at an auction, if you're allowed to look through it, I don't want to be sitting there for an hour looking through it. I know that's hyperbolic, but I don't want to be like drawing attention to it. I saw huge box, Mechwarrior, I'm bidding on that. No, it's probably no matter what I bid, it's probably going to make me some money on eBay. And I was really excited for this, but I wasn't going to go like too crazy. But yeah, in my head, when I saw like a big brown box like this, I knew I was going to get tons. And like I said, I've done pretty well with like getting about this amount of lots before, like this number quantity, if that makes sense. So yeah, this all looks like it's one faction. We're going to move on to the next bag. All right, moving along, we got a bag of more mechs. I do remember in the title of this lot, it said something about unique ones. I can't remember exactly what unique like stood for. I know what the word means, but like in the game, maybe it's like ultra rares. Maybe they would be mechs or figures that would maybe be more expensive or harder to get because these booster packs were randomized, all of them. I think, of course, there's always gonna be like promos. You can go to conventions and get them. Stores probably have like giveaways. There's always like extra ways WizKids would have ways to get the players different items, to get them into stores, to get them talking about the game, playing with their friends,
trying to get people to get into it, to promote the game. That's why they're promotions. All this one has like a cool little cannon here. Yeah, a lot of these I haven't seen before. Like I said, there's a lot of different sets, meaning like different types of booster packs where you would get like, oh, booster set 1 would have like, 60 different types of figures you can get in them. So yeah, a lot of these I don't recognize, and a couple I have seen or sold before. I feel like I've seen this in this type before. This guy with the chainsaw I haven't seen. So yeah, these ones, some of these are interesting to me. I've definitely sold this guy before. I've sold this guy with these broken little like wings so many times. So yeah, like I said, this one I've seen before. I've had this one with like broken arms. All right, so yeah, I'm not sure what the person denoted this baggie for, but that's that baggie. Let's move on to the next. All right, next up seems to be a bag of infantry. These all seem to have this like little set symbol right here. I don't know if it's focusing, but it's like a hand with like a sword, and there's kind of like a circle background, and there's some kind of like little denotation beneath it. So yeah, I think they're like some kind of like Storm, like Thor type of faction. It's been a bit since I've listed this stuff. I've gotten it before. I just haven't gotten it recently. So it's really cool that the person who owned this before put them out by faction, because that's actually how I like organize them. First, oh, there's a little guy missing here. I'm gonna have to like make sure I mention that, or make sure that like if he's in this baggie that I include him. They're really tiny, as you can see, like compared to my hand, they're just super tiny. But yeah, people do like this kind of thing. All right. Oh, this one's like, it's not like a full tank, but it's like a smaller little vehicle. This one's called a hover bike. Those are, I think, pretty cool for people. I'm not sure if they're supposed to, oh, there is a person there. It's just like they did the same color paint scheme, so it's hard for me to tell. Maybe there are two different, no, this is the same faction still. So yeah, you have these guys with the, it looks like they're called battle armor gnomes. Yeah, they have interesting names, some kind of peasant company right here. Yeah, people like the little guys too, Hauberks. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, these ones are still the similar one, the gnome battle armor right there. Like I said, they have like all their different stats. Oh, I sold the Mechwarrior ring before on eBay. Remember how I said there's like ridges on the bottom where you use the ring and then like you can twist it? But like, see, normally I have to like put my nail in there, and like I can't even get this one right now. You have to like kind of like fiddle and loosen them up. Yeah, some of them are easier. So, oh yeah, I should have shown this earlier, but yeah. See how I like, once you like deal with these enough, you know like the exact position to put your fingers to twist it, or you just get the ring. The ring would probably help with the ones that get like stuck. Maybe there's like a little dirt or something in there. These also weren't like the craziest best quality, because yeah, I don't know, they just weren't. WizKids does good stuff, but I would say their quality is always like a, usually around like a B minus if we're on a grading scale. Of course, there's gonna be some C, D tier stuff, and they're gonna have some A plus stuff that I've seen before. But in general, for like the older stuff, let's see if I can just randomly twist this one. So it has the ridges on the bottom. Yeah, no, I hear it like trying to, there you go. See, like I really had to do like the motion, and I just kind of have it, I can't think of the word. I have the muscle memory, that's it, of like how my hand has to twist to get those to spin. So yeah, right there, people do like also memorize the stats. So what the little bar is for is you have a starting point. So right here is the collector number. They actually have the collector number down there with like bullet holes showing that's KO'd. Mage Knight say KO. I think HeroClix also say KO. So you have your starting point. Oh, this one's a rough one to do an example. So you have your starting point. Every time they take a damage, 1 damage in the game, you keep going. So this guy would take 1, and then sometimes they get new abilities, less abilities, things that hamper them or things that make them stronger. Usually their numbers go down, which usually mean you get less movement and you have to roll higher dice to hit. And then see, it's still going. This one actually has like a lot of health. So it's an interesting thing about these games is, yeah, right there you get KO'd. So it's like, I didn't count, but maybe like 8 or so health. So that's how those work in the game. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so the older figures for Mage Knights, Mechwarriors, and HeroClix, usually they had like a lot more of this chaff at the end, chaff on their stat bars, meaning like their last 4 bars, health points didn't have like hit many stats, but now like the newer like HeroClix, they actually kind of cut off like those little boring clicks with no powers and stuff, and they kind of just will go like, okay, this character has like 5 health points, not 8, 9, or 10, but it'll have some good solid like powers within that, even on the back end, but then it gets knocked out faster. That's just how they like their design philosophy changed as the game went on. All right, so that's all of these mech warriors from, or sorry, not the mechs, these are the infantry. We're gonna go on to the next bag. All right, next bag is going to be more of these vehicles and tanks. So like the 2-slot ones right here. This all looks to be the same faction. It's like, it looks like kind of like a sword and a shield and like a little sunburst on half of it right there. It looks like they also have a lot of this blue color. So this is like a mobile headquarters. We have this one right here with a lot of missile launchers. Yeah, these ones I do pretty well with. Like I said, I've gotten these with like broken bits or pieces before, like the bag I showed earlier in the video. But this is going to be really good. I'm super excited that they're already organized by little clans. So here's not like a super crazy like tank. This is, what do they call this? A strike sled. There you go. That one's cool. I haven't really seen that one, but I do know there's like different actual sizes within these vehicles, if that makes sense. You have like a little medic tank right here. It probably helps infantry, maybe some repairs for the other vehicles, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Another missile rocket launcher. So yeah, there's these little, I always forget what those are called in military, like the little arrows. So there's going to be like, or maybe ranks. So maybe 1 is common, 3 up here is probably rare. I think that's just a guess. Or maybe there was like a thing in Mage Knight where they would have, like, let's say a skeleton, they would have 3 different, it would be like veteran, elite, and then common or something. I might be like misspeaking there, but like you can get a skeleton at lower points with less abilities, and then you can get the same skeleton with higher points with more abilities and more health, kind of like how I just showed you the health bar. So yeah, right here, these don't have the little ridges, but these just, I think, turn much easier. I can't even turn this one. Oh wow, I forgot like the muscle memory for these ones. Oh, okay, is it just right there? Oh yeah, there you go. It just has like the ridges right here that you turn it. It's just stuck a little bit. Yeah, I guess I'm not used to turning these ones because Mage Knight didn't have many like this size. I think they did eventually have mounts, but I think that might have been 2.0, which I had less of. This one's a sniper artillery, so that one's someone's going to enjoy. And the last one for this faction is this little type of bike vehicle mini tank right there. All right, on to the next bag. All right, next up is going to be 2 smaller baggies, so I'm just going to do them at the same time. I'm not sure why there's less in this one. Let's see like what troop this is. I don't know what, I see that set symbol. I don't see like a faction, just says shock troopers. So yeah, like I said, I'm not too sure what's different about this particular bag other than maybe it was just all from that same set. I know some of the stuff's like really tiny to see. Those are some like little raider battle armor guys. Here's another sniper artillery right here. I think it shows like minimum range, maximum range. I forget what the 32 means. Maybe there's like a bullet. No, I don't know. I thought the bullets were like the little twisties for the mechs, but I'm not sure what the 30 whatever is in the parentheses. More little infantry, and that was this first bag. So we're going to keep that right there. And then we're going to move on to the second bag. These ones do look like they're from the same clan. It looks like, I don't even know how to describe that symbol. So I'm just going to show right here by my thumb right there. Yeah, this is also like collector number, set symbol over there, their stats. They have this like beige kind of color. There's going to be a bunch of them. So yeah, these ones I've seen before. There's also like a little bit of blue in them. Let's see, we got this one right there. Yeah, these are super tiny. Let's go ahead and show this one with the wings. That one's kind of cool. Yeah, I think I've saw that one broken before. The wings probably break easily. This faction is the same faction, but they look like a more elite squad because they're darker colored, maybe for some kind of camo. I don't. They might have like terrain bonuses. So you play this game on, I think, a table. I don't think you use a grid for this. And there is going to be things like terrain, cover, buildings and stuff. You're going to make your own. Like you can just like, okay, I have a bad theme right now, but you can be like, okay, this is a tower. I mean, this is probably fantasy theme, but you can do stuff like that. You can use whatever you want. I think even in the rule book, it's like you can use a water bottle. Just having like different stuff so all of the characters can use their various abilities, like maybe going through terrain, maybe getting extra cover in the terrain, in the grass and stuff like that. So that's also why people buy themed terrain that we've sold before on the channel. But yeah, that's the 2 baggies. Let's move on to the next. All right, I probably should have started with this earlier, but this looks like it's going to be some like rule books. Yeah, different rule books and stuff, little tokens to denote things. I don't remember the tokens too much. So yeah, right here, check out these like old school rule books. You have to like unfold it like a folio. It's like some special rule book. This was just so they can fit in like their little starter packs. They couldn't be like a full-on like rule book like you think a board game right here. So it's, yeah, it's talking about all the little things on the dial. Lots of rules for this game right here. Oh, that one's in Spanish. So yeah, they have different languages. Yeah, a lot of people like this type of game. Italian, French. But yeah, I don't know if this is the full-fledged rules. I'm going to want to say my gut says no. This is just me like a little quick start rule book thing. And then there's these little tokens that we're about to show you guys. I have no idea what these are for. It says like sniper. Maybe these are in HeroClix at least, or I don't know if they had them in Mage Knight. They would have one hit point click figure, so you wouldn't need to twist it, because if this thing takes a damage, it gets knocked out. This one says like Thumper right here. Like I said, this is new to me. Like I haven't seen these before. Like I know that's the Mechwarrior. It says Fire for Effect. Maybe that was one of their sets in there. So yeah, these are like a little cardboard. They're almost like Pogs, but not like good quality. There's blue and red. They all have a name and different stats and numbers. Maybe you spun them. I have no idea. So I'm gonna have to like look into that. Classified eyes only. I have no idea what this is. Maybe this goes along with those little tokens I got. So yeah, we're in new territory for me. So I'll definitely look it up. Same thing, different Mac, Atlas, serial number, mass, just like a bunch of lore. There is a ton of lore in this game. Like people like this kind of stuff. All right, this looks like, there you go, rules. This is the rule book. So like it's a pretty in-depth thing. Like look at how crazy this is. Your characters can charge, ram. Those are probably for the mechs. You can capture units, close combats, ranged combats, how measuring works. Like I said, it's pretty in-depth. Oh yeah, they give you these little dinky rollers and starter sets. Even Mage Knight ones had that. Movements. There's a lot with this special equipment. Yeah, like this is a full-fledged game you can play, how to build your thing, like how they're talking about this guy's worth 66 points, this one's 15 and 14. Maybe it says, yeah, they're playing an army of 100 points. So yeah, if you want to play like a quick battle with your friend, 100 points, learn the game before you do like a 1,000 point battle and go like to in depth. So this is going to be what HeroClix calls the pack. And sad I haven't talked about it yet, but on the miniature basis, I don't have one right now because the baggies are all sealed. There's going to be different sections. There's like attack, damage, defense, and movements. And then if there's a little color that's like around the number, it gives you that special ability. Unless if you take damage, sometimes you lose these abilities or you gain them. So yeah, like armor piercing, streak missiles. This is for the, I think these are for the attack, either attack or damage. Damage right there. We have melee special stuff. So yeah, these are all of the, it says what, mech only. Maybe this is just for the mechs. So there might be different booklets for the other figures. Let's see, we have another one right here. They called them packs in HeroClix because it's powers and ability cards. So just the acronym right there. These are probably called something different. I have a bunch of these, so I could probably just list one. And then when it sells, resell it or do a quantity on it. Usually, oddly enough, with stuff like this, I don't like to put a quantity on it because I feel like if I put a high quantity on eBay, someone's just going to like devalue it for me. They're going like, oh, you have 10, so you'll want to get rid of it for $1. And that's not the case. It's just I happen to get a lot because I bought someone's actual collection of this game. It wasn't because there's a lot of them, if that makes sense. So I usually do one, and I make a note to myself to relist it. All right, so let's go on back to some figures. All right, this is a huge bag of mechs right here. These are probably different types of factions. So you have the faction number. Oh, see how you can see there's a, I don't know if you can tell, there's going to be like a 2 that's black. Then it's going to have some kind of ability. There's like a different color over there. Like see the block around the number around the 21. Those are going to be different abilities. But yeah, see right here, like this mech took some damage. I just made it take a bench damage. It only has one ability. It doesn't have the one in this damage slot over here where the 18 was. Or maybe that's defense. Yeah, it's probably different. There's an extra stat on the mechs compared to like Mage Knight and stuff like that, HeroClix. So let's see. Here's another one with the chainsaw. Like I said, I've never played this game. I read the rulebook as a kid. I got a starter. I've never seen like this big chunky one before. That one looks pretty cool. So I don't fully remember all of the rules. I just showed you guys the rule book. So like there's a lot to the game. I just know like the basis or the base of like this kind of stuff. So right there, because I did play a little bit of Mage Knight, and I actually did play HeroClix when I was old enough to like really have time to, for a couple years, to invest into it, to learn all the rules, to go to like a comic store and play. So yeah, we have a bunch of these big ones. This is really interesting to me. I like this. Maybe I can lot them up. Maybe they'll be individually fine. But I could already imagine like the different lots I can make with these. There might not even be enough room on the camera here for this one particular bag. This is way more than I expected. Like I said, at the auction, even with the previewing, I just like moved the box a little bit, saw a massive amount of Mechwarrior, and I'm like, oh, I'm finally going to be able to do like good big unbroken figure, lots of these, or just individuals. All right, so yeah, these are a lot of people like these. Like I said, I've gotten like this guy or these types of guys with those things. Those things break easily. You have to be careful. If these are dropping on the ground, even a small amount, usually you'll have like pieces flying off. Like it's sad. So I have to be really careful. I think I've like even broken a couple before, not from this particular lots, but like they were already broken pieces as I was listing. I dropped in, more pieces came off, and I was like, oh, that's painful. All right, so that's that bag. Let's move on. We're almost done. All right, moving along, we have a whole bag of these like tanks and the little vehicles. This looks to be, I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I think this little wolf face is the steel wolves. I think I remember like the gray and white color, a little bit of blue. Like I said, it's been a little bit since I've gotten some of this stuff, and usually it sells pretty quick. I think currently right now I have like a couple of promos that aren't too valuable, and then I have like other odds and bits and pieces. I don't have any rule books. I sold the ring that I had. I don't know if I had another one of those twisty rings. And then I have like a couple of broken lots of bits and pieces I haven't sold yet. I've had like offers on them, but I don't entertain like the super low offers because I know people do eventually pay out for this stuff. It's kind of harder to find this in the wild. I've always been on the search for it. Oh, this one's pretty cool. Excuse me. This one's pretty cool. Right there. Yeah, this is a lot more than I expected. I am committed to finishing all of them, to showing you guys every single one. This one has cool little like smaller rocket launches. What is this one called? A missile carrier. Oh, this one's kind of ridiculous. Oh yeah, some of the pieces you can move. Like you can actually move the turrets. Like kind of like pretty cool for stuff of this quality, if that makes sense. And we got that little biker right here, a little medium tank. There's another one. Like I said, you can see like their little blue wolf symbol there, the steel wolves. If I'm wrong about the steel wolves, I'm not committed to that. This is, like I said, I think I've sold the steel wolf lots. I do remember some of the names. Definitely when I'm going to be researching this after recording the video and listing these today, my goal is usually to like, I want to list all of them. Is that bold? Yes. Can I do it? Yes, I've done it. It might take a long time. It might take till like midnight. It's probably like 1 o'clock right now, so we still have to do the video for the stuff that's sold today. But yeah, there you go. This one's a smaller one, a couple little guns. I have to be careful when listing these things too, because I've had issues where I thought most of them are complete, and then someone would be like, hey, is that like one little like turret right here? Is there one missing? And I'll look at it in the pictures and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that one is damaged. I have to like denote that. So yeah, there's a lot of little bits and pieces on these. I have to be careful. So yeah, this is a really cool huge lot. I'm not gonna like lot up all of them. I'll probably just do like small chunks. So I like the color scheme of the steel wolves. All right, next up is a different faction of these little vehicles and tanks. So this faction has the little, it's like a snake eating its own tail, and then there's like a little diamond thing, and 3 of the squares are filled up and the other one's not. Maybe they're like rebelling against a certain faction. I don't remember the name of them. I don't think they have a snake in the name. That's just how I see the set symbol when I look at it. Sometimes the clan symbols, sorry, not set symbol, the clan symbols are a little ambiguous. It's kind of hard to read on some of them. You can like obviously see it because there's not many of the turrets or the missiles blocking it. So yeah, they have like this brown, red, burgundy, gray color scheme right here. Well, this one looks like a little jet. That one's I haven't seen this one before. Right there, we have this one with a couple missile launchers on top. People really like this stuff. So yeah, right down there. Oh, let's see if you can see it again. I don't know if you can. I'll pick an easier one to show you guys the difference, like colors for the abilities. Right there, I think you can see it maybe if it's focusing. There's like 4 different colors. So depending on the color on what slot it is, it will tell you what ability. So the movements all the way on the top will have certain colors to denote different movement abilities. It might be like, oh, this one can pass over terrain without getting hindered, or the attack ability might be like, oh, this one pierces armor, so like it will do, it's easier to roll your 2 dice when you're attacking. I think in this game you roll 2 dice against their like defensive number, and if you match it, I think you hit. I don't know if Mechwarrior is different than the other WizKid stuff, but yeah, that's all of this faction right here. Let's move on to the next one. All right, moving along, we have another bag of these vehicles. This one seems to be the faction with the hand with the, I think it's a sword. Yeah, it's a sword, and there's like a little moon or something in the background. So I think this person who had this collection, there's definitely more factions than what I've shown you guys here. So they definitely had some favorites, right? So it's a collectible game. Trying to get all of it is probably too expensive. I mean, they went pretty deep in this game. I can tell. I've never seen a collection this big before, so that's what I'm super excited. I mean, I own it now, so I guess that's pretty cool. I'm sure there's tons of people that have more of this stuff. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. I don't go like searching out for a scene who has like bigger collections. I'm just saying this is a well taken care of collection, and they definitely had some favorites for like what factions it. Excuse me. All right, so this right here also moves. So yeah, pretty in-depth stuff. Last vehicles of this one. We only have a couple more bags, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, next up, this looks like a bag of infantry with the snake set symbol right there. I don't know if it's focusing, so yeah, I'm going to show you. I guess let me see if I can move this one. I can't. That one's a little stuck right now. Probably need the ring for that. Oh, right there, you can see like the different colors. It looks like there's a gray on the movement and then a blue on the... Actually, they had them in different slots, like Mage Knight and stuff. The movement's on top. It looks like the boot is in the middle, so it has 10 with the blue around it. So you go ahead and look at the sheet, and it tells you what blue on the boot does. Maybe it goes through water. Maybe they can jump past stuff. There's going to be a lot of little nuanced rules within the game, and then a lot of the abilities essentially break the rules and let you have fun. So it's like fun if normally a terrain. Oh, this one I haven't seen before. This is like a little robot dog. I've never seen the little doggy like robots as like the infantry size, not one. So that's new to me. I've literally never seen that. Sorry, that caught me by surprise. I normally see like infantry like these and like the really tiny like other vehicles, but not like the doggy one right there. So 2 more right here. Yeah, there's a lot of different little guys here. Some of them are going to be considered like armored, and they'll have like more points. Some of them are just gonna be like regular troopers, so there'll be less points. So like I said, you'll play like 200, 300 points, 500 points, whatever you and your friends want to play. These games are also fun to play as like a free-for-all. Usually like 4-player free-for-all could be cool. 2 versus 2 team would be cool. And usually when you do those, you'll play on like maybe like a 4x4 foot table, and then you'll bring a bunch of terrain, and then you'll just have a blast for like a couple hours, 2 to 4 hours, depending on how well you guys know the rules and how long it takes for people to take their turns. But yeah, that's a lot of fun for people, and then you'll play more points. So then you get to, when you play with more points, you get to use more figures. You get to use more mechs. You get to have more infantry on the field and more chaos. So yeah, people do like that. I want to say like the baseline, at least for like HeroClix back in the day, I think it was like 300 points, which is not that many figures. It's like a small squadron. So that's all of that from this like snake eating its own tail faction. All right, moving along, we have this faction of infantry, like this bag right over here. This seems to be like the sword and shield with the sunburst on half of it. So let's go ahead and go through all of these. They also have their own like special abilities. This one's called like a Hauberk battle armor. This one's like a lesser team right over here. This one is a SRM team. So they all do have like specific names. It's really hard to catch in camera because, oh, here's another one of the doggies I've never seen before. But they do have different like little weapons. The little guys are tiny, but like they'll have different little suits, different armor sets, helmets. These have like little machine guns. So like, I don't know if it's focusing well enough, but they do have different names. These are not all the same. I should have mentioned that earlier. More doggies. These guys look like they have like a little, these are called gnome battle armors. We've shown a couple of those so far on the other parts of the video. More of these right here. This is just a ton. I'm like super excited. I'm also like, oh wow, this is going to take a long time. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to look up like try to find a good site, including eBay, but it doesn't have to be just eBay, of like which ones are like rare. So I'm probably going to look up like, I'm probably going to go to the rule book first just to see like what is a rare, what is not, like how to figure that out by looking at the base of all the symbols on it. And then I'm probably going to go look up each individual figure to see what it sells for. Does it take a lot of time? Yes and no. When I just go on my computer, I have a little notebook next to me and I just go through it really quickly. I'll just like write down, I'll put them in pile, right? It'll be like, okay, this is going to be a bulk pile for a bulk lot, and I'll put it in a baggie. I mean, good thing this collection already had a baggie, so I only need a couple extras for like putting the rares aside. And then I'll just list them all within the same day and just knock it out quickly, like one after another. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, this is a lot of mounts. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, can I do it? I know I've done something crazy like this much before, but we'll see. All right, let's go on to the next bag. All right, I think we have a couple bags left. This one's going to be this faction. This actually might be the Steel Wolves. This is another wolf with like a bar, like a rectangle through it. So maybe these were the Steel Wolves, and I was wrong earlier. So they have like a bunch of shiny like gray and silver right here. We have this little bike, scout bike right here. So yeah, like I said, not all of them are the big tanks. We have this vehicle. These usually do well. Like the mechs are pretty good. The tanks, I feel like, do pretty well. I've done lots before with like, it'll be like with a couple mechs, a couple tanks, and a bunch of infantry. And that usually does well. It kind of, in my head, looks like a good little army. Like I said, I don't know the full army building requirements. Well, I feel like I can imagine them without going into the rule book. It's going to be like you pick a certain number of points, and then you probably want a good mix of like a mech, maybe a tank, and then some infantry to support. All right, so that's it for this particular faction. So they didn't have as many as the other ones. Let's go on to the last baggie. All right, last up is this bag of infantry right here, and it has like this particular like bobcat. Actually, it's not a wolf. I think it's a bobcat. So I don't know if I said that wrong earlier. But yeah, these are just going to be little infantry. These have like the little wings. We have like a little hover tank. We have like this one right here with the white. So this has a lot of white and gray. I'm not sure what the Bobcats faction is officially called. I'm not sure if it actually has Bobcat in the name. It might. I'm going to have to go through the rule book, which will show all of the different clans. So yeah, more of these. This is just this is a lot. This is a lot. This is pretty cool for me. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty excited to go through these. Going through this quicker because this is the last bag, but there's a lot in this bag. Like I said earlier, also I have to be careful because these particular things are delicate. So if you drop them, they break, and then you have to sell it as pieces. Or I can, if I wanted, I can glue them. I feel like I'm a little too, I want to say lazy, but I'm not. I feel like that's not efficient enough for me because I'd rather someone who wants them to, glue them the way that they want. Maybe they want the broken bit or piece to attach to something else. I doubt it. I'm just like saying randomly, it would be too much time for me to do it. My job is just to denote the damages, to show what they're getting, to show and like to pick the price. And then we have offers on. All right. So we have that as well. This little hover tank. So we're almost there. All right. So that's every single figure I just showed you guys. Really cool. This is my first time going through this whole collection. Last thing, not as exciting, is these are little baggies that come in the starter set. So apparently, I remember the Mage Knight had 2 dice and then the ruler. So this is the measuring stick. You actually measure for like movement, range. It's by inches. And then the black die maybe is something different. Maybe it has to do with like explosive ammo, maybe like a different direction. Maybe there's like rules where when you shoot a little like explosion, maybe it like goes somewhere to the side instead. So yeah, there's 4 of these baggies. These will do pretty well too. Like these are just like little, chump change, but people do want them. They're still sealed. You can kind of see that they're kind of janky. They have a little bit like a little dust on it just from being in the baggie forever. All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Everyone have a good one.